What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. That's more like it. That is indeed more like it. Phillies win 8-4. Offense comes up clutch. Kyle Schwarber, Brandon Marsh with bases loaded and 2 outs to extend the Phillies lead to make it a little more comfortable because, of course, when Nola is cruising through 4 innings, he's cruising, gets that 1 inning. That 1 inning. The 5th. Allows a homer. Okay, shake it off. Nope, not Nola. Nola does not shake it off. He just proceeds to implode. Allows a hit. Allows more hits. Allows runs to score. Got to get pulled early. Yank him early. Topper with the quick leash there. Wish it was a little bit quicker. But what's done is done. Brings in Jeff Hoffman, who has 50 times the balls than Nola. Yeah, he allows a sac fly, but he gets out of the situation, and then he comes around for a wraparound inning and does the job. The bullpen did the job today. The bullpen shut it down. And that's why I've always said why I'm more concerned about the starting rotation than the bullpen. Because the bullpen, most nights, can put up performances like this. Yes, they've been more human lately. But I still feel like more times than not, they will give you performances like this. And just kudos to Jeff Hoffman, man. The dude has been more than enough than what the Phillies have asked for from him this year. Waiver claim. He was Bryce Harper's batting practice, rehab pitcher for Christ's sakes. And he comes, in the important situations, inherited runners and all that stuff. And he gets the job done more times than not. Like, seriously, the major balls on this dude. And then you get really good performances from Soto, from Alvarado, from Kimbrel to close out this ball game. Offense did enough, more than enough. They scored 8 runs. It's a good win. And you also took advantage of a Cubs loss. So now you get a little bit more of a cushion there, which is very nice to see. In those wild card standings. So you get yourself a little bit of separation there, and it's good. It just doesn't help that they're playing the Diamondbacks because the Diamondbacks are also in the wild card race. So we're just going to have to see how that transpires as the days go along. The Cubs will probably get hot again because that's what they've been the entire year. But still, it is what it is right now. Get the separation. That's the most important thing. Secure that first wild card spot. That's the most important thing. And then you figure everything else out. It still kind of sucks that today you had to go to the bullpen, which makes pulling Christopher Sanchez yesterday too early make even less sense because you had to use arms today. Some of your main arms. Your main arms today, you had to use all of them, basically. So that sucks. Again, makes pulling Sanchez an extra inning early last night's just makes it more look stupid, in my opinion. But tomorrow, you have a chance to win the series. Ranger Suarez on the bump. Do I know what we're going to get out of Ranger Suarez? I have no idea. I would like for him to have a nice little gem because he's been way overdue for that. Have a nice little outing, nice little quality start. Give the bullpen some rest, especially going into a doubleheader on Monday with the Braves. You're going to need as much pitching as you can for those 2 games. As much pitching as possible. It's just going to be, you can't be wasting these guys. You can't be, yanking your starting pitching so early. It's just that you got to be looking far ahead. I understand you're focusing on the next game at hand, and all that stuff. You're not worried about it. But then you also got to look at, the upcoming schedule. You got a doubleheader upcoming. And that's, I know I'm going into yesterday and the ranting about pulling, Christopher Sanchez and all that stuff too early. But, some of these things come back to haunt you. And now that's 2 games in a row where you got to go heavy use with the bullpen because, one, yesterday wasn't Christopher Sanchez's fault. That was Rob Thompson just being too protective of his starting pitcher. And tonight was just pure Nola completely imploding after he was really good for the first 4 innings in the game. I just don't understand this dude. He has 4 fantastic innings, and then it all implodes because he allows 1 home run. Dude, you allow 1 home run, okay, shake it off. Shake it off. You're still in the lead. You're still in the bottom of the lineup. Get the job done. He doesn't. He doesn't. He just continues to implode. Continues to implode. And that's just really concerning, especially when you're thinking about playoffs in postseason. Because that's why I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying it, why the starting rotation really concerns me more than the bullpen. It just does. It just does. Really, the only guy right now that you can trust in the rotation is Zack Wheeler. And honestly, Christopher Sanchez. Do I trust Aaron Nola? God, no. And he's going to be starting a Game 2 of a wildcard series. Do I trust Taijuan Walker? God, no. Do I trust Michael Lorenzen? No. Do I trust Ranger Suarez this year? No. If it was Ranger Suarez from last year, I would say hell yeah. But this year's version of Ranger Suarez, I don't know what you're getting every single game. And that's basically the summary of majority of your starting pitching in the rotation. You don't know what you're getting from these guys every single night besides, Zack Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez. Zack Wheeler looks like he's turning the corner. He's been amazing in his last so many starts. Christopher Sanchez has been just a due to consistency. But then you go to Nola. Then you go to Walker. Then you go to Ranger. Then you go to Lorenzen after the no-hitter. It just hasn't been right. And that just shows signs of concern. It just does. I hate that I went on that little bit of a tangent there, but it just popped up into my head, and I just ran with it. And it's an important thing to talk about there. It definitely is. Way more concerned about the rotation than the bullpen or the offense. Because the offense can do things like they did today more times than not. I knew they were going to bounce back after yesterday. I just had a feeling. I just had a feeling they were going to bounce back. I just did. And that led to an 8-4 victory. Kyle Schwarber was huge. Brandon Marsh was huge. Trey Turner didn't get a hit, but he got 2 huge walks. Bryce Harper getting in there. Nick Castellanos moved down into the lineup into the 8-hole. Worked. It worked. He gets 2 hits. He gets a 2 RBI double. Jake Cave honestly had a huge at-bat in this ball game. A huge at-bat, which led to Kyle Schwarber's, amazingness. Really good. Really good. Some 2-out magic. Brandon Marsh, clutch lefty. Damage. Clearing bases loaded. Double. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. So let's go through the ball game. Let's just see how everything transpired. Easy first inning for Aaron Nola. After a 2-out double, he gets out of that situation. Bottom of the first for the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber, leadoff walk. Trey Turner grounds into a double play. Nothing happens there. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning because that's where the Phillies begin to blow it open the first time. It starts, all of this stuff in the bottom of the second inning is with 2 outs, though, by the way. So, Bohm and Stott lead off the inning with 2 outs. JT 2-out single. Brandon Marsh 2-out single. That leads to Nick Castellanos ripping one down the left field line for a 2-run double. 2-0 Phillies there. And then Jake Cave with a very important at-bat. He falls behind 0-2. And then he battles. Fouls a pitch off. Takes a lot of balls. Works the count full. Then he works a walk. That's a fantastic at-bat after falling behind 0-2. And then you lead it up to Kyle Schwarber. And by God, was this at-bat not fantastic? Was Kyle Schwarber not locked in this entire at-bat? Gets up in the count 2-0. Then it becomes 3-1. Becomes 3-2 after a swinging strike. And then here comes the foul balls. 3 straight foul balls. Kyle Schwarber's locked in. I feel like he can read stuff off Cueto every single time. It just looks like he's gunning for it. It looks like he's seeing the ball well. And then what happens on the 9th pitch of the at-bat? Oh boy, do I have something to tell you because Kyle Schwarber absolutely murdered the fucking ball. Send it into orbit. You saw the dark sky above Citizens Bank Park. I thought it was going to be torrential downpours. Kyle Schwarber hits the ball in lightning spurts. That's where the thunderstorms come in. It didn't actually rain. It was raining during the game, but it wasn't hard enough to do any type of damage. But you know what I mean. Kyle Schwarber bring in the thunderstorms, collapse the ball into the bullpen. Fantastic at bat. 3-run bomb. Becomes a 5-0 Phillies lead. All that with 2 outs and a fantastic at-bat by Jake Cave to lead to that. You cannot forget that. You cannot forget that at-bat by Jake Cave. Falling behind 0-2 and then finds a way to get on base. It's fantastic stuff there. It's great stuff. Turner then works a walk, but then sadly Bryce Harper wasn't able to do anything. I thought this ball from Bryce Harper was gone, honestly. You know, he hit it to left field. The Marlins were weird today in the outfield. They could not track any fly ball possible. There was plays out in foul territory that they were dropping the ball. They were, 2 times in foul territory dropping the ball. There was balls into the outfield that guys couldn't read. They thought it was going deeper than it actually was. It was weird. It was weird. Top of the 3rd inning, a 1-2-3 for Aaron Nola. So surprisingly, a shutdown inning after the Phillies score runs. What? Bottom of the 3rd, Phillies don't do anything. Top of the 4th, Aaron Nola gets out of that with a double play. Bottom 4, nothing really happens after a Nick Castellanos single. So nothing happens there. But then we go to the top of the 5th. This is when Aaron Nola implodes. And when he shows signs of being a loser. That's right. I said it. Aaron Nola, a loser. That's what he is. Starts off the inning with a strikeout to Sanchez. So 1 out in the inning. Then he gets ahead of the next guy, Hampson, 0-2. Becomes a 1-2 count. Then he get a couple of foul balls. Then a home run. Seriously, 1-2 count? You allow a home run? Come on, Nola. But bounce back after that. Nope, he does not do that. He allows a double to Edwards, which almost went out of the ballpark too. With the top of the fence in right field. Then Stallings with a double. Apparently Stallings is the most dangerous hitter in this goddamn Marlins lineup to our pitchers. Then that becomes a 5-2 ball game there. Arias then singles, which makes it 1st and 3rd. And then Josh Bell in a 2-2 count doubles, which scores another run. 5-3 ball game there. And Thompson's had enough. Get the fuck out of here, Nola. We're bringing in Hoffman. Hoffman gets the 2nd out. Sadly, it was a sac fly, but the run gets charged to Aaron Nola. And then he gets Jazz to strike out in a full count. So, big balls from Mr. Jeff Hoffman. Phillies go into the bottom of the 5th inning. They respond. Trey Turner leadoff walk. Bryce Harper single. Stott gets hit by a pitch. Gets hit in the ribs. And Rob Thompson did say post-game that he did have trouble breathing at first base. But then you see what Bryson Stott does after this situation, and you're probably going to think, okay, he's probably fine. Stott gets hit by the pitch. JT, of course, in a clutch situation, he has a terrible at-bat. He pops up in foul territory, so it's 2 outs in this situation. Bohm also struck out, too, so that was the 1st out. So it comes down to Brandon Marsh, lefty-lefty. 1-1 count. Gets a hanging slider right over the middle of the plate. Hanger. And he crushes it down the right field line for a bases clearing double. Brandon Marsh, lefty-lefty damage. That's why he should be in the lineup every single day. Every single day. Becomes 8-4 Phillies, and they didn't look back from there. Hoffman allowed a 2-out single in the 6th, but basically he did the job there. Top 7, Gregory Soto, 1-2-3 inning of dominance. He looked really good out there tonight. Jose Alvarado allowed an infield single, but that was basically it. Got the job done in the 8th. And then Craig Kimbrell allowed a leadoff single. That's basically it, too. Retired the next 2 guys. In order. Phillies win 8-4. Aaron Nola's a loser. Offense comes up clutch, and the bullpen comes up big as well. That's how you describe this game. Had to let that out. Excuse me there, boys. Let's look at the lineup for today. Kyle Schwarber was fantastic. 1 for 3, 3-run shot, 1 walk. That's my leadoff hitter. Trey Turner sadly ended his hitting streak, but he still got on base 2 times with 2 walks. He also got robbed of a hit in center field by Jazz, so Trey Turner still seeing the ball very well, so it's going to happen where some days he just goes hitless. It just feels like every single game lately he's just been doing every single thing possible. So it feels weird when he doesn't get a hit. Bryce Harper goes 1 for 4. Alec Bohm in the cleanup spot goes 0 for 4. Bryson Stott over 3 with a hit by pitch. JT 1 for 4. Brandon Marsh 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs on that bases clearing double. Nick Castellanos in the 8-hole, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a walk. So maybe something worked there for Nicky C. Maybe something worked. Jake Cave went over too, but he had a huge at-bat that led to the Kyle Schwarber home run. Cannot let that go away so easily. That was a fantastic at-bat by Jake Cave. So I'll take over 2 and a walk from Mr. Cave. Pache also pinched hit in this game for Cave at the end, and he got robbed. Nice hard hit, but it just went right to the outfielder. So a little bit of unluckiness there for Mr. Pache. Phillies, runners in scoring position, they definitely were better today. 3 for 7 there. Pitching-wise, Aaron Nola, my goodness. 4 in the third inning, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and a home run allowed, 84 pitches. So that's 2 starts in a row that he can't get out of the 5th inning for Mr. Nola after 2 starts previously where he went 7. So that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, September Nola. Oh boy. Hoffman was amazing. An inning and 2/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts on 27 pitches. Look at the bullpen the rest of the way too. Soto, 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Alvarado, 1 inning, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. Kimbrel, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. The bullpen allowed 3 hits and struck out 6 over their 4 innings, 4 and 2/3 innings of work. Bullpen was huge today. It was very huge. But sadly, I think, no, not sadly, but we're going to need Ranger to be good tomorrow. We need Ranger to be good tomorrow. We need to win the series. Got to win the series. I still don't know who's pitching for Miami tomorrow. That's a question mark for me still, because I don't know what they're doing, because it wasn't really announced. Because originally Sandy was supposed to pitch today, then he got injured. Then I'm assuming they moved everybody up 1 spot in the rotation. So who is pitching tomorrow? Ranger Suarez going up against Steven O'Kurt. Okay, so they're going with a bullpen game tomorrow. That's why. Okay, so during this entire game, the Miami Marlins, they let this De Jesus guy just completely pitch the rest of the game. Guy making his major league debut. He went basically after Cueto came out of this game. He was the guy that just, okay, take one for the team. Take one for the team. I could see why now, because they got a bullpen game tomorrow. That's why they only use that one guy out of the bullpen. I can definitely see why they did that now. He threw 78 pitches in relief in 4 1/3 innings. Jesus Christ. I thought they were going to kill this kid. What a way to make your major league debut, huh? What a way. So yeah, Ranger Suarez tomorrow against the bullpen for the Miami Marlins. Gotta win. You gotta win. You gotta win. So if we look at the wild card standings after today, Phillies are 78 and 63, 15 games above 500. It looks like they just consistently stay 15 games above 500. 4 games up in the wild card in general. They're 3 games ahead of the Chicago Cubs, which technically is 4 games ahead of the Cubs because they got the tiebreaker there. Also, you could say they're 5 games ahead of the Diamondbacks because they also have the tiebreaker with winning that season series, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think they won the season series against the Diamondbacks. So they have the tiebreaker against the Diamondbacks. They have the tiebreaker against the Cubs. And technically, they could get the tiebreaker against the Marlins if they win tomorrow, because that would mean winning the season series against Miami. Right now, they're tied in the season series. I believe it is 6-6. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But you're, looking at it right now, you're 5.5 games ahead of the Marlins. You're 6.5 ahead of the Reds. And basically, so on and so forth. The Giants at this point, I believe they're out of it. They're 1 game above 500. And then that's it, basically. Padres are not going to be involved. That's basically it there. That's basically it. Take your games, win the games that are in front of you, and that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Win the games that are in front of you and take advantage when the teams around you lose. That's what you need to do. It's going to be tough, with the Brave series, but you got to do the damage. You got to do the damage. You got to find a way to at least split with the Braves. Got to win tomorrow against Miami to win the series and at least split with the Braves. That's all I'm asking for. And then you move on, looking at the rest of the schedule as well. You play St. Louis again, so that should be a good series. Then you play the Braves again for the last time in Atlanta. And then you go to that final stretch, 7 games against the Mets and 3 against the Pirates. So, control your own destiny at this point. Control your own destiny. And if we're looking at this Brave series, it's Walker, Lorenzen, Zach Wheeler, and Christopher Sanchez for it. So it does look like they're going Walker and Lorenzen for the doubleheader, if I'm not mistaken, from the looks like with the way on ESPN. Yeah, it definitely does look like, okay, I can understand because they do have the off day on Thursday, so that definitely does make sense, I guess. Kind of makes sense. So yeah, that's basically it there. Got yourself a nice win. Please go win this series tomorrow. I am begging you. I am begging you, go and win this series tomorrow, please, for our sanities. Also, to make, Sunday a little bit more entertaining, because birds are tomorrow. Opening day. New England. Foxborough. Why not start it off with a nice little Phillies victory to go into the Eagles game? Why not? Why not? I'm not sure how I'm going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow is a 1 o'clock game, so it could be a chance that the game ends before the Eagles start, so we maybe could get a quick Phillies recap in the mix there. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. I feel like if it laps into the Eagles game, I feel like the Eagles will just get, the priority. I'm not entirely sure how tomorrow is going to work. We'll definitely play it by ear. If the Phillies game does end before the Eagles start, I'll definitely get a quick little Phillies recap in there before, the Eagles game, and then we do that recap later in the night. So basically, it's just play it by ear and see how everything goes. So you guys will, you'll see it in the subscription feed and everything like that. It's just basically how everything progresses tomorrow. So we'll see. But let's get to the Anytime Hotline. Let's see what you guys have to say here. We got a couple of voicemails here today. I got one of the voicemails when Aaron Nola was imploding, so let's go to that first voicemail just to see what this guy has to say. He did not leave his name, so I'm not sure who this is. So let's see what this guy has to say.
Let me say this about Aaron Nola. It's time to pull the plug on him. At this point, I would rather see some random replacement level pitcher out there than see him. I mean, you could get a replacement player to do what he's doing. He's not helping you at all. He's hurting you, and I would rather see a replacement player because it's a different guy. Nobody is going to pay $20 million for that production. Nobody is going to want that.
Oh, the frustration that Aaron Nola gives us Phillies fans. You're not going to replace Aaron Nola right now. It just doesn't make sense. I can understand the frustration. He's going to be one of the top pitchers on the free agent market. Teams are going to value what he does. He eats innings. He strikes out a lot of guys. He pitches 200 innings a year. People are going to value that. He doesn't get hurt. He stays, healthy, relatively healthy basically the entire year. He gives you at least 25 starts, 30 starts. Teams are going to value that. And with the way that the starting pitching market is going to be this year with free agency, especially with Shohei Ohtani not going to be, pitcher-wise available next year because he's most likely going to get some type of Tommy John surgery. And, a lot of the other pitchers that are going to be off the market, Luis Urias from the Dodgers basically just ended his career because of stupidity. He was going to be one of the top pitchers on the market. Basically, it's going to be him and Blake Snell that are going to be the top pitchers. So that's basically it. Oh, yeah, I know that top pitcher from Japan that just is going to be coming over, but he's not going to be making the money that, Nola or Snell are going to make on the market. They're not going to be making, he's not going to be making that type of money. So you see what Kodai Senga got from the Mets? That's probably what he's going to get, around something like that. That's probably what he's going to get. Nola and Snell are going to be the top pitchers in the market, no doubt. No doubt there. We also got a call here from Sean. Let's see what Sean has to say. Now, Julio Urias is done. He's done. You see that domestic abuse case that he went through, that he just got arrested for? And they have video evidence on what he did? Dude's career is done. He is just like freaking Wander Franco and his dumbass. Done. I value Nola also, especially on any other team. Okay, Sean, what do you got to say in this voicemail?
Glad to see the Phillies bounce back tonight. Had to get that win. Biggest hit of the night was definitely by Brandon Marsh when the Marlins had cut the lead to 1, and when the Phillies once again with runners on third base and less than 2 out were imploding thanks to JT just terrible Realmuto. Marsh comes up with the big hit. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. If the Phillies do make the playoffs, which they probably will, Aaron Nola having to start game 2 in a playoff series doesn't inspire much confidence in me. I mean, what more needs to be said? A 5-0 lead against a slap-hitting team like the Marlins, and you can't hold it. It's the same thing with this guy. Balls go over the wall by the greatness that is Garrett Hampson. He just can't help himself. I said it earlier, and I stand by it. I don't care if Aaron Nola leaves at the end of the year. I wouldn't pay this guy big-time money. I'd rather go with the kids in the minors and take my chances. I mean, it's like a bad rerun. It's the same thing every time out. I don't trust this guy at all. I don't think his teammates trust him at this point. We're stuck with him for the rest of this year, but hopefully moving forward, that situation will be rectified in the offseason.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in regards to that with the offseason and Aaron Nola. But yeah, he's starting a game of a wild card series, so I got nothing for you. I trust him as far as I can throw him, and honestly, that's not very far. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe I can chuck Aaron Nola at least a good amount of feet. Who knows? But still, that trust is not there. It just isn't there. You don't know what version of Aaron Nola you're going to get in the playoffs. You just don't. It's not. It's just not. Don't know. I just don't know. That's how much he's soured on us, man. Teams are going to value him in the offseason for what he does, though. It's, it's the innings, it's the strikeouts, it's the healthiness that he stays with. Teams are going to value that, and there might be a team out there that gives him more than what the Phillies are willing to offer. I'm sure he's still, regretting not taking Dave Dombrowski's offer right now. I'm sure he's really regretting that because he's just completely tanking his value. But who knows? His value might not be tanked fully because he's going to be one of the top pitchers on the market. Who knows, though, if Blake Snell wins the Cy Young this year, maybe Snell becomes the top pitcher on the market, but who knows? Who knows? It's basically a battle between him and the Cubs pitcher that's there. So, we don't know. We don't know. Who knows? Yeah, Urias that is his second offense with domestic abuse. So, yeah, he's done. He's done. He's an idiot. As dumb as the guy as Wander Franco is for his situation that he's in. Disgusting. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how they just do some idiotic stuff and it just ends their career. I don't know why you would do that stuff. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Philly shouldn't offer anything. Spend the money on the Japanese ace. I'm not sure what Dave Dombrowski would do in that market. Like, will he, do what Sean's saying and just rely on the arms that are in the minor leagues? It just sucks that you're not going to have Andrew Painter until 2025. That really sucks with his Tommy John surgery. Really sucks. I just don't know what's going to be the case. Because if I'm looking at the free agent market next offseason and everything there, just to see what the market's going to look like, let me look at MLB free agents. 2024. I believe that will be the case. Let's look in the starting pitching market and see what the case is here. Who are the top pitchers in terms of market value? Apparently Kershaw is going to be another free agent next year, but he's 35. Yeah, Nola's there. I'm looking on Spot Track and I'm going by market value. According to this, Nola is the third most pitcher in terms of market value. Kershaw is the biggest. Kershaw has a $38 million market value. Charlie Morton apparently is the second most, but I wouldn't be so shocked if he retires after this year. He also has a club option with the Braves for $20 million. Urias would be the fourth best, but his career is done. Eduardo Rodriguez has an opt-out with the Tigers, so maybe he could be a top pitcher on the market. Blake Snell, Marcus Stroman, but he has a player option too with the Cubs. Sonny Gray, he could be a top pitcher on the market. He's pitching really well with the Twins this year. Montgomery could be an under the radar type of signing. Lucas Giolito got his arm shot. Lance Lynn, he's shot. Johnny Cueto's done. Bring back Kyle Gibson. Sean, you want to bring back Kyle Gibson? He's a free agent next year. $13 million market value. Who else? Who else? There's not much. Not much. Kyle Hendricks, but he's got a club option. There's really not much. You can go Dick Mountain with Rich Hill if you want to do that. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani just completely with the injury, just, he's not going to be one of the top. He's still going to be a top free agent regardless because he's a generational talent. But his value is definitely going to plummet that you're not going to have him as a pitcher for the next so many years, which just sucks. Eduardo Rodriguez would interest you. Would be interesting. What are his numbers this year? What are his numbers this year with Detroit? Let me see that. What are his numbers? Oh, I would love to go after the Japanese pitcher. Didn't he just throw a no-hitter too? So I would definitely like to see that. I would definitely like to see that. Eduardo Rodriguez this year. He's 11-7 with a 3.18 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP. What has he been like his entire career with the Detroit Tigers, though? I know he's had some not so good moments. The past couple of seasons, last year he had a 4.05 ERA. 2021 he had a 4.71. He didn't play in 2020 because of a heart condition, I believe, with COVID. So that was a little bit of a scary situation from him. 2019 he had a 3.81. 2018 a 3.82. He's a consistent, mid-3, low-4 ERA type of guy. Like, third starter in your rotation type of thing. He might get Taijuan Walker money. That might be the case. He might get something like Taijuan Walker is making. Possibly. He does have the connection to Dave Dombrowski, too, so who knows? Who knows? But I'm not sure what they would do next year with the free agent market. I'm not sure what they would do with the starting pitching market, because I believe that's the most important thing they should focus on, is starting pitching in the bullpen. I feel like right now you're just set with the lineup or with the offense. Maybe you want to bring in another piece through a trade or something like that, or bolster the bench. But I think for the most part, you are set with your offense for a little bit here. So I think pitching is the most important thing they need to prioritize. Yeah, I would like to see Dave go after that Japanese kid. I would love to see that. I do believe he's young now. I believe he's like 24 or 25 years old. So that would be very nice to see if he can go after someone like that. Get him on a nice contract. He can learn in the Phillies rotation. Let's just see. It'd be nice to see. It would definitely be nice to see. Not entirely sure what would happen. I want to see this kid's numbers, though. What do you know offhand, Dominic, his name? Do you know offhand what his name is? So I can look up his numbers, because I would look on Twitter, but I'm lazy. As you can see. Bring back Vince Velasquez. Sean, you're drunk. You're drunk. You're drunk. What's your thoughts on the reliever Keckering, who is dominating the minors? Should we give him a look prior to the wild card? I'm sure they'll be forced to do something maybe with the doubleheader. So maybe that's the thing with the doubleheader too. I know it's against the Braves, but do you really want to use two starting pitchers? I understand you want to try to win as much as possible against the Braves. You want to put yourself in the best possible position to win. But I don't know. I think maybe they bring up some guys from the minor leagues for the bullpen for the doubleheader. I'm not sure what would happen though. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Okay, that's his name. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Let's see what his stats are. In the Japan. So this year, he's played for two teams apparently. I guess one is what does that mean? I'm not sure what that level means. Let's look at his numbers this year. Where he's played the most this season. So 2023, he is 24 years old. In 2023, for two teams, he's a 14-5 record. He has an ERA of 1.28. He's played in 20 games, 141 innings, only 20 runs given up, 144 strikeouts, a whip of .9, so that's really good. Does not give up home runs. Has a walks per nine of 1.5, a strikeouts per nine of 9.2 this year. Strikeouts per walk is 6.26, so that's good. Where's his FIP and all that stuff? I want to see his FIP. I like looking at that advanced stat because FIP is like something to look gauge at with ERA too. Where are his advanced pitching stats? Where are his advanced pitching stats? I guess it's not going to have it here. So, can I look at some other website just to see his stats? Just to see his stats? Can I see? Can I see if it loads? Is this website going to load? It does not look like. Okay. So if I look his last year stats, the past 3 years, he's had a sub 2 ERA. Last year he had a 1.68. 2021 he had a 1.39 in 26 games. 2020 he had a 2.20. In 2019 he had a 1.95. Oh, geez, this guy's good. He is good. Good. Strikeout numbers are high. Doesn't give up many home runs. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I would take a crack on this guy no matter what. I would definitely take a crack at this guy. I'm not sure what Dave Dombrowski's going to do, though. Not sure. Off topic, I want to see a Eagles score prediction for tomorrow. Oh, God. Oh, God. Granted, there's going to be rust involved, no matter what. I feel like with the Tom Brady celebration that they're going to be doing tomorrow, maybe the Patriots have a little bit of a jump in their first drive, but that's basically it. I'll give it a 30-20 Eagles. I'll say 30-20 Eagles. That's what I'll say. I think there'll be a little bit of rust to start off the game for Jalen Hurts, but then I think from there he'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be as back and forth as last year's opener was against Detroit, but I think it's not going to be a dominant game, but it's not going to be a close game either. Like us, 30-10. 30-10. Not 10, 30-20. 30-20. If it's 30-10, it would be a dominant game. What the hell am I saying? 30-20. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. Let's just consider Aaron Nola an opener. He could pitch 2 to 3 innings and then go to the bullpen the rest of the game. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not scared of the Patriots at all. They got some injuries on their offensive line. It's definitely going to open up a lot of crap for, Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat and that defensive line, Jalen Carter too, Nolan Smith. It's going to open up a lot of stuff for the defense. I feel like the defense is going to feast tomorrow at a lot of points. I feel like they will. Like I said, I'm going to go 30-20. 30-20 is my score for tomorrow. That's the Eagles' victory. Let's, got ourselves a nice little win here. That's the most important thing. So, I think that's what I'm going to call it for today. So let's see. Here we go. Here's a post from Destiny Lagardo on the Braves. So the Braves lost to the Pirates today. A Phillies win or a Braves loss tomorrow would mean that the Braves would have to sweep the 4-game series versus the Phillies in order to clinch the NL East in Philadelphia. A Phillies loss and a Braves win tomorrow means Atlanta would need 3 out of 4 against Philly to clinch the NL East. Oh, God, let's not do that on our home turf. Let's not let the Braves celebrate on our home field. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. Not at all. That means we got to win tomorrow. But his Sippos is back, baby. Oh, God. And his special teams are always going to be a nightmare this year. I don't know what's going to happen with that stuff. So, but still. Tomorrow's tomorrow. Phillies at 1 o'clock. Eagles 4:25. Depending on what happens in between, maybe you'll see a quick Phillies recap before the Eagles game, depending on when the Phillies game ends. Maybe it can end around 3:30. Maybe it ends right at 4 o'clock when the Eagles start a half hour after that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You'll see it in the subscription feed, so definitely stay out for that. But for right now, thank you for joining everyone tonight. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. If you're new to the channel or if you're a current member of the channel, definitely recommend it to other people. I would appreciate you for that. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you everyone for joining it tonight. Busy day tomorrow. Exciting day tomorrow. Let's hopefully we can get 2 wins from our